MyTV WQMY presents Men's College Lacrosse.
Welcome to Mangelsdorf Field in Dallas, Luzerne County. Tonight, it's college lacrosse on MyTV WQMY. It's a Freedom Conference matchup between DeSales and Misericordia. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob I, joined tonight topside by Coach Van from the Philadelphia U.S. Lacrosse Association. And Coach Van, Misericordia 2 years ago won the Freedom Conference Championship. Last year they lost in the finals, but they graduated 15 seniors from last year's team, so it's a little bit of youth movement here.
Yes, and when you graduate that many players, you need those young players to step up and just be leaders and just get the job done.
One of those leaders is our spotlight player, Patrick Luzzy.
Patrick Luzzy leading the team in points. Just got to be a leader out on the field.
Also leads the team with goals. On the opposite side, DeSales having a spectacular season. 9 wins, the most ever in program history. They're led by a senior, Joe Negia.
And Joe Negia, again, another number 28. They're both 28s this evening. It'll be easy to watch. But again, he's got to lead the team with those points, lead them on the score, lead them on the field.
Well, when we come back, we'll have the opening face-off, and we'll talk to the coach from Misericordia. It's DeSales and Misericordia next.
College Lacrosse on MyTV WQMY is presented by Misericordia University.
Welcome back to Mangelsdorf Field. We're at Misericordia University. Both teams ready to go, but first we have to check in with Coach Van's keys to the game. First up for DeSales, Coach, what do you got for the Bulldogs tonight?
Well, Bob, the Bulldogs have got to be able to clear the ball. They got to get the ball down the field, maintain possession all the way through, and hold their composure. They can hold their composure, they can control the ball, control the possession, they can control the game.
And for the Cougars tonight?
Well, it's a young team, like we just mentioned, so they've got to limit those youth mistakes, and the defense has got to step up and be a quality defense and make some quality stops.
DeSales with a school record 9 wins. Here are the starters for the Bulldogs tonight, 9-0 coming in. Opening game of the Freedom Conference. On attack, you got Bowen, Connors, and Negia. At the midfield, it will be Taylor, Brown, and Corrado. He'll take the face-off. Defense, very solid. Bowen, Carney, and Vince Maria. A couple sophomores in there. In goal tonight, Matt Berry, number 15. Will do the honors. He's a senior. 7.56 goals against average. For Misericordia, your starters will look like this on attack. You have Tercelli, Lusley, and McSwigan. Your midfielders, Winslow, Wagner, and Heidecker. He'll take the face-offs. And the defense, real young back there, Stunberg, Capanale, and Van Horn. In goal, very experienced, Matt Beck, number 33. 9.84, missed a couple games here early on. Third member of our crew is Cindy Warwick, and she's standing by with the Misericordia coach.
Bob, I'm here with Misericordia head coach Jim Ricardo. So, Coach, what do you want to see from your team tonight?
Yeah, sure. We want to see our young guys play hard. It's a first conference game. Everybody's 0-0. It's an opportunity for us to get right where we want to be. Playing at home, there's no better place to play in Dallas, Pennsylvania. So I want to see my kids play hard, compete like I know we're going to, and excited for a great night.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Bob.
So talking to the Misericordia players before the game, I said, hey, you could pull the upset. They're going, this isn't going to be an upset. They're usually the hunted because they're the champs. They were the champs. DeSales now looks like they're the hunted, so Misericordia flips positions.
Yes, and it'll allow them to put some pressure on, hopefully coming from their younger players. And maybe this is going to show DeSales something that they haven't seen yet this season. So let's take a look. We've got our opening face-off right here. And DeSales has had a couple opportunities. It's still fighting for the ground ball. And
so possession
Cougars.
For the Cougars, so they'll bring in the offense. First flag already coming in, looks like for slashing. Our referees tonight, Bruce Hoffman, Jeff Hoffman, and Tom Diamond. Freedom Conference matchup. This is behind the goal. That's Tercelli who passes it up, and they'll bring it out to the top to their offensive middies. Work it around, and they'll get it back to Wagner. Wagner's first shot is score, Misericordia.
And that's big. Less than a minute in, Misericordia puts the first one up. That's going to get them fired up. This is going to be a good game here tonight, Bob.
The sophomore Wagner.
Take a look at this shot. Just coming around, a nice split dodge, lined it right up. Boy, he was eyeing that in the whole way.
That's Wagner's 10th goal of the season. He had 13 a year ago, and what a start for the Cougars, getting on the undefeated Bulldogs. So the flag is waved off. The goal will count. So Corrado and Heidecker back at midfield. Coming in, Misericordia, Bob averages 15 goals. They like a fast-paced. DeSales on the opposite wants to slow it down. So two opposing offenses we'll see tonight.
Yes, and we'll see how the defenses react to those. Earlier in the week, we had a chance to talk with both of the coaches, and I had asked them if there was anything that they did different in their practices to get ready. Because if their offense is used to looking at one kind of defense, and then they're going to get out here and see something different, are they going to be prepared? Are they going to be ready? Especially with Misericordia having such a young team, are they going to be able to adjust from a practice into a game? And we've got a battle here. I mean, this ground ball is a big fight. That was a real nice save there by the goalie.
Yeah, goalie Matt Beck with a big save, experienced in there. The 6'1" senior comes up with a big save. Ground balls going to be a big factor here tonight.
And fighting for them. As you can see, these guys are really going for the ball. They're going for the body. This is going to be a very physical game.
Big turnover.
Got to make sure you come up with the ball there.
20 turnovers per game for this Cougars team. We talked about their youth. That's part of that youth, and that's why they're at 4-4 this season. So here comes the Bulldogs. Last week, they played a week ago against Stockton. 14-10. And evidently, we did have a penalty.
I was going to say, yeah, they were just talking about a penalty. The guy in the box was released, so now we are all even again. And
I apologize for that. I totally we missed that. But here are the Bulldogs again. And Coach Brancaccio talked about how their offense the other day and how they don't really run any sets.
No, a lot of these coaches were talking about how they just kind of get into a formation and then let the players be creative out there on the field. I tell you, but we just had a really good save by the Misericordia goalie. Nice clear.
And a back clear from Matt Barry, the senior goalie for DeSales. So we talked about composure for DeSales. Right now, a couple of big turnovers. They're down 1-0 early on in this game. Big hit right in midfield. Turnover, Misericordia. Here comes DeSales. Back the other way. They'll bring it into their offensive zone. Something new to college at the Division III level, a shot clock this year.
Shot clock, which is right down there at the bottom of the screen. We didn't have that in the game earlier today with the high school game, but yep, at college we're going to have that.
80 seconds?
80 seconds, and the shot has got to hit the goalie, the pipe. It's got to land on target somewhere. You can't just throw it anywhere near the goal and expect that to count as a shot.
Monahan, number 27, out in front. Looks like Misericordia in a little hybrid zone. Shot from the outside off the mark. But DeSales closest to it. It looks like might have been Negia who took that shot from that right side. Give and go. Goal, Justin Monahan, DeSales on the board.
And Bob, what I'm seeing is a lot of fast-paced passing and catching by DeSales. They're moving that ball pretty fast here, so they're going to try to beat up on the young Misericordia team, see if they can find some chinks in the defense and slip the ball through there like they just did on that one. You watch these fast, quick passes back and forth, and then a nice sidearm. That's going to throw off the release point a little bit, maybe on the goalie.
One of the things Coach Ricardo talked about was changing up his defense tonight. He usually plays man-to-man. I think you saw like a 1-3-1 zone.
Yeah, we're gonna have to keep our eye on that a little more and see. I'm also curious to know or to see if he's going to make any changes mid-game. If he tries something out and it doesn't work for them, are they going to change and adjust their game?
Holding on DeSales, Misericordia ball. So they'll bring the offensive middies on and the defensive middies on to work it around the horn. Tercelli, number 29, back up to the top to Wagner. Wagner going to control it. Working around to the X spot.
What I'm also looking for is some off-ball movement here. I want to see, again, with a young offense, they may not have a lot of time to work together and pick up on each other's rhythm.
Give a go in the middle.
Yeah, that looked like that one was kind of forced there.
Big hit put on.
Yeah, a lot of hits going on here.
Soderberg had it. Here comes DeSales on the give and go. Shot, stop back. DeSales retains possession.
We've got some defensive players down there in the offensive end, so they're going to hold the ball a little bit, get those subs through.
So Krug, number 9, will come off. He's a long stick midi. In there, Curtis King, a freshman. Also, number 6 in there. Magro for DeSales. He has the ball right now. He's a junior out of Ridley. One thing, DeSales plays a lot of freshmen this year. They have some talented freshmen, and they average 12 goals per game. They give up 7. That's why they're 9-0 on the year. Shot, top, save.
Fantastic save. That goalie just stepped right into it. He had his eye on that one the whole way in.
Shot by Mato. Nice clear by Misericordia. They'll retain possession. 3-3 zone, coach, by DeSales.
Yeah, well, let's see if the and the younger Misericordia team, they just picked that right off. That just came right in from the wing there. It looked to me like the DeSales defense was still kind of getting set and getting ready there.
Oh, that looks like our spotlight player, Patrick Luzzi, the leading goal scorer, twines the net. His 30th goal on the year, 2-1 miss.
Yeah, so here this feed just comes right back from X. A step in. Yeah, it looked like the defensive midfielder was coming down, and the long stick defender wasn't exactly sure if he was going to pick up that ball or not.
The assist by Sean McSwiggan. The Cougars up by 1. Very fast-paced. A lot of scoring here. We're only about 5-6 minutes into this game.
And Bob, another thing that we see at this level is that a lot of the midfielders will have either a offense or defense kind of a focus. You don't see too many of them staying out and playing both sides of the ball.
Big mistake.
Yeah, big mistakes there for Misericordia defense. 2
freshmen.
Yeah, so 2 freshmen there. And I'm going to chalk that one up too. They haven't had a lot of time to play together. So those passes were actually pretty close. We were watching them make some long passes in their warm-up, which they definitely could do. I think they didn't need to make some of those passes. They just forced right there. So now let's see if DeSales still moves the ball as fast as they were.
Oh, they turn it over. Ground ball. Back to the offensive side.
Breakaway. Fast break
for Misericordia. Shot, score! Nick Tercelli, the sophomore, with his 18th goal on the year. 2-goal lead for the Cougars.
Well, you can see just running down the field as soon as he had the ball in his stick, he was ready to go right to the goal. So you see this pick this ball up and just getting ready. Do I have enough time? Yes, I do. Boom, put it backside right behind the goalie. A nice shot right there. Misericordia is coming out firing here, Bob.
They are, and Stockton last week had a goal lead on DeSales, but the Bulldogs fought back and won that game 14-10. So they have not trailed a lot this year, but they have. I mean, they had a close game with Moravian, did DeSales, and they opened the season against Montclair State with a 1-goal win, which was huge for the team. DeSales, that is.
Sure, and we saw it in the game earlier today. you can't count anybody out until the end, to the very, very end. Both teams have got to play the entire game.
This is a young game. This is a young.
Yeah.
We're at the infant stages of this game, so a lot of time.
A lot of things can happen here. I mean, 1-3. This is great. I mean, Misericordia has a momentum going. They're capitalizing on some opportunities, which is great for them.
That's their 6th turnover, though, Coach.
Yep, but by no means is DeSales out of this game at all.
Huge turnover by DeSales in their own zone. Another possession now for the Cougars, up 2. The Cougars average 28 shots on goal per game, and they win 58% of their faceoffs. So that's a good formula to have a good team.
Yeah, winning faceoffs allows you to maintain that role on offense, keep possession of the ball. The longer you have the ball, the other team can't score. So if you can pick it up on ground balls, or you can get it on the faceoff, if you can back up your other teammate's shot, anything you can do to maintain possession just slows the other team's effectiveness.
There's Wagner trying to get his shot.
Yeah, see, I'm looking for some off-ball movement here to see what this young team is gonna try to do.
Terselli lost the ball.
Yeah,
or that was Luzzy, I should say.
Going in towards the crease, it just got checked out of his stick. So we'll see how effective they are when they try to force it like that.
So DeSales back the other way.
Push backside. Under.
Now DeSales will set it up, coming up on the 6.5-minute mark of a very entertaining first quarter. Bulldogs average 26 shots on goal a game. There's a wide right one off the side of Beck.
Guys, step in.
12.2 per game. They like to slow it down a little bit more than Misericordia.
Well, I think DeSales, what they're going to try to do here is try to control the offense. But they're using these fast passes, a little skip pass right there. Yeah, they're going to try this, I would bet, for a good portion of today's game, where they're going to make these adjacent passes, try and move the defense out of position, and as soon as the defense moves, that's when they're taking that shot. So it doesn't look like anybody is setting up any kind of specific plays. I think they're just trying to create opportunities and then capitalize on them, which is one of the great things about lacrosse. You can get creative out here, you know, within your team. Right off the pipe.
The post.
Sorry.
5 seconds on the shot. Oh, they reset the shot clock because it hit the post.
Because it hit the post, yep.
So another 80 seconds. So we had shots by Taylor and Monahan way off the mark. And now they're setting Nejia up the top. Usually we see Nejia down the bottom, right? In the DeSales, watching some of their video. So they're bringing up their senior to run the top, the point.
Well, I think what they're doing is they're realizing that they're getting some looks up top there instead of being able to sneak around the crease. So they're thinking, you know what, let's get that asset up on top and see if he can, there you go, just a dodge right down the side there.
Good stop by Beck. So reset the shot clock again. I think they're going to discuss, should that reset the shot clock? I think that's what the discussion is going to be. Okay, here comes the official.
Just heard delay a game, but let's see what this official has.
47 on the shot clock. Get the ball to Monahan.
So you hear that? 47 seconds on the shot clock, so not a reset for DeSales. Oh, wide open shot. Well, a little bit outside.
Yeah, I think DeSales, that's going to be their.
Well,
there it is.
There is the goal. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll look at that on the way back. 3-2, Misericordia.
And welcome back to the men's college lacrosse game here at Misericordia. I'm Sydney Warwick, and I'm joined on the sidelines by Chris Hollick. So Chris, along with both teams, are representing the Headstrong Foundation gear. So Chris, can you talk to us a little bit about this foundation?
Yes, the Headstrong Foundation was started by Nick Collieri from the Ridley Township area in Pennsylvania. Nick was a freshman at Hofstra University, a lacrosse player, played with Ridley in that area as well. His freshman year, end of his freshman year, was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And when he was in the hospital at University of Penn, he overheard families speaking about sleeping in their cars, paying for hotels, and he thought he needed to do something to help families, as they fight their battle with cancer. Obviously the patient has a place to stay in the hospital, but the family and the caregivers didn't. So Nick actually, while battling his own cancer, started the Headstrong Foundation and actually drew the first logo, the logo that you see on a napkin in the hospital. He started that foundation, and unfortunately he ended up losing his battle to cancer, but I don't want to say he lost his battle because this great foundation has continued. And his mother and his brothers and the rest of his family made a promise to him that they were going to keep the foundation going, and not just keep it going, but to continue to expand it. It started their headquarters is in Holmes, and there was an apartment above. That was the first ever Nick's house. That's where I stayed. I was in 2017, I was diagnosed with AML leukemia, that's acute myeloid leukemia. That was a month and a half after my son was born. So I was away from my son for months at a time, and when I got my stem cell transplant, we needed to stay close to the hospital. So we started reaching out and researching places to stay, and we were forwarded to the Headstrong Foundation. A lot of people recommended. And from the moment that I met Cheryl, Nick's mother, she hugged me and told me, you fight your battle with cancer, and we're going to take care of your family. And that was my number one concern. Not my cancer, not myself, was what was going to happen to my family. And it was because of Nick and the Collieri family that it was possible for me to be with my family close to UPenn down in Philly. That's what a lot of people don't understand is why is we're in Dallas, Pennsylvania. Why are we doing a benefit game for a foundation in Philadelphia or near Philadelphia? It's not for those people. It's for the people from this community. I'm from Scranton. They have people staying from other states. They actually have a family from Colorado staying right now. They now have a house in Swarthmore. That's the new Nick's house, and it's multiple families can stay there. But that's who it's for. So that's why there's a big lacrosse community in all the colleges across the country. I've spoken to a lot of them, calling them and thanking them for their generosity. And it's for the people out of state, 2 hours away like me, to be together and be family. And that's where lacrosse is such a team sport, and it's a family. You see these guys hugging and jumping around, and just really, it's a family atmosphere, and that's what Headstrong is about. Like I said, they do so much more than just lodging. Also, they do the hot Thanksgiving meals when you're stuck in the hospital. They send the magician around, anything to cheer you up. They really just they do anything they can to help because they've been there and they want to help. And again, Nick on his dying, his last days, he didn't quit. He just kept fighting and kept trying to help other people. He never felt sorry for himself. Most people, even when I first got diagnosed, you feel sorry for yourself at first. And he inspired me. His story inspired me, and that's why I like to help others, and that's why I like to help the Headstrong Foundation spread awareness, because he didn't give up, and he kept, putting other people before him, even in his lowest times.
An incredible foundation. And Chris, where can people find more information about it?
Social media is a big platform for them. You can go to headstrong.org. You can actually see my story is on that website. Facebook, the Headstrong Foundation, Instagram. Actually, they just did a social media campaign, and they are now the largest social media following of any cancer organization. And again, that's from a huge portion or a huge part to the lacrosse community, doing the different social media awareness campaigns for them.
Truly amazing. Thank you so much for your time, Chris. Back to you, Bob.
Well, an incredible story and an incredible foundation. A lot to ingest there.
Great, it's a great foundation. And there is a large population of lacrosse community that works with Headstrong. We see them all over the Lehigh Valley, and like he was mentioning, all the way down to Philadelphia. So yeah, a great organization.
Well, recapping what we kind of missed, Justin Monahan, who had 0 goals coming in, has scored the last 2 for DeSales, and that Misericordia lead has quickly evaporated. It's tied at 3.
And like we mentioned at the beginning of the quarter, 1-3, not that big of a deal in the game of lacrosse. We did have a couple of long clearing passes, and I wasn't sure exactly what players were trying to achieve by those.
Well, 8 turnovers on Misericordia has contributed to some of the opportunities I think that DeSales has had. Here come the Bulldogs. Up quickly. Timmy Smith, the freshman, taking it in.
Now, if you watch this, there's actually the key to that play right there was the fact that the shooter got into a position and didn't move until he saw that feed was starting to come his way. So that's, really a testament to players working together, playing together, putting the time in out on the practice field, running through different drills or just different moves on the field. That the timing of that cut right here, you'll see was perfect. As soon as 48 is coming down and now is looking to be a little bit of a threat, boom, number 2 all of a sudden just kind of appeared out of nowhere coming around from GLE. And success, it ends in success when you execute things perfectly like that.
Sophomore Zach Bowen with his 29th goal on the year, 3 straight from the Bulldogs. They take their first lead of the evening late here in the first quarter. Great assist by the freshman Timmy Smith. Here comes the Cougars back the other way. And, one of the guys that Coach Ricardo was happy to have back was Brandon Wagner, the senior out of Nazareth. He's been hurt. He's a midi. Shot and save.
Not even really sure about that shot there. I think that shot was taken either right at GLE or even below GLE.
Ramos going to work it around to the X, the senior. And they'll give it out to the top, some of the attack players, including Monahan, the midi, 2 goals already.
And now here's DeSales again. They're really good at moving the ball quickly, and boy, their timing is fantastic. I gotta say that's a lot of their success is coming from perfectly timed cuts by these shooters, and they're just getting right into that open spot at exactly the right time.
Joe Negia, the senior.
Right there. Just as the defense comes over to adjust is when they're getting that shot off.
So maybe that zone isn't working now for the Cougars.
Yeah, I'll bet they go a little bit longer with it, but then I'll bet that Coach Ricardo is probably going to make a little bit of an adjustment.
Chase Yoder now, the freshman for DeSales, going to take the face off. 10 seconds left against Rogers, the other freshman from Coatesville. 5 seconds for DeSales to do something. And that will do it. So the Bulldogs come up to Dallas and score the last 4 goals and have a 2-goal lead after 1.
And welcome back to tonight's men's college lacrosse game. Heading into the second, DeSales is leading by 2 points. I'm Sydney Warwick, and I'm joined on the sidelines by Misericordia women's head soccer coach Mark Stauffer. So, Coach, your team had a very successful season last season. You earned your 3rd straight title. So, can you tell us a little bit about that moment?
Yeah, it was a good experience for our young ladies, being able to earn that 3rd title. Just a repetition of what they put in year after year. trying to stay at the top of the conference is always a challenge. Getting there and becoming the team at the top that everybody's been fighting for was the hardest part. Now that we've developed the culture, I think they're doing a really good job of staying at the top and just enjoying the experiences as we go throughout the season.
And your team made it all the way to the Elite Eight game. So all the way from the beginning of the season, how did your athletes develop from then up until the end?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I think it starts with the culture and the leadership of the upperclassmen to teach the underclassmen and the freshmen coming in what the expectations are within our program. And that starts early in the recruiting process. But just watching them develop as a team and come together with formational stuff and just gelling together as a group and watching the younger kids really start catching on to what we're trying to do on the field. It's fun to watch year after year, especially when it's going well. And we had a big mix of freshmen mixed in with upperclassmen playing with a lot of playing time this year. So I think we had the good mix. We had the upperclassmen that had the experience and have gone deep in national tournaments, and we had the young, energetic kids that are just talented that got to learn and go through the experience with them.
And now, what does off-season look like for you and the team?
The girls will tell you there is no off-season for them. They're going to be working year-round. We actually get to spend about 4 to 5 weeks with them in the spring, training them. So we're in that part of our season now where we're actually getting to train just like we were in the fall. But to play at this level and to consistently be a top 10 team, they have to work year-round. And like I said, we can organize them, we can recruit them, but once we get them here, it's up to them to put the work in and get the success that they're looking for. And they do a great job with it.
And looking far, far ahead, but you said the underclassmen really learned by the upperclassmen. So what are your predictions for next season? You have a very big one to beat.
Sure. Predictions, I probably won't go there, but I will tell you that we're going to prepare like we always do. And it's something we say in our program all the time. We prepare daily and let the results take care of themselves. And the girls have really bought into that. And I can tell by the work they're putting in now that the expectations are getting higher every year. Elite Eight won't be good enough for them. They're going to want to get to a Final Four and make a run at a national title. And I think if you set your goals there and you just prepare daily, you wake up one day and your results are what the results are, and you're finally where you want to be at the end of the season in December.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, Coach. Good luck next season. Back to you, Bob.
Thanks, Coach. And thank you, Sydney. Bob Vanderhaden. Back topside here in this Freedom League Conference matchup between the undefeated DeSales Bulldogs taking on the 4-4 Misericordia Cougars. 4 unanswered goals by DeSales to end that quarter. They had a momentum going into the second quarter.
They definitely had some momentum, and behind that interview right there, DeSales was doing a really good job moving the ball around. I noticed that they were jumping between a couple of different formations, which was great because they all changed at the same time, but they were able to maintain that ball movement all the way around. Just unfortunately for DeSales, Misericordia came up with a great save once that shot was taken.
So Justin Monahan, who had 8 goals coming in, has a hat trick tonight. That's the second time this year he's had a hat trick. He had it against the Montclair State University team, the opening game of the season. Here's what the Cougars have done so far. They open up with a couple of nice wins. Very tough schedule, according to Coach. They lost 3 in a row for the first time since 2015. In the middle there, they came back last week with a big win over Kalamazoo. So Coach talked about his tough schedule when we talked to him.
Yes, and when we were talking with him, he said he enjoyed that and that he wasn't going to back down from it, and his team wasn't backing down, and they like to be challenged, and that says a lot when you've got a young team such as this, that they are not backing down from the challenge, and they want that kind of competition. He also said that helps them prepare for today.
Absolutely. Of course, 2 years ago, they were 13-4. They won the Freedom Conference Championship, won the first game in NCAA play before losing the next game. And last year, they actually had the most wins ever in team history. They were 14-2, but unfortunately lost to Eastern in the Freedom Championship. Different team this year. That's the good thing about sports, and especially college. Kids are only here 4 years, maybe 5, but you get a rotation, so it's not the same teams all the time.
Not the same teams all the time. Hopefully, you'll have senior players that your freshman players can learn from. In this case, since Misericordia has such a large number of freshmen and sophomore players out on the field right now, this this team has a chance to kind of define itself and to make any big changes. And we got DeSales coming down here. They are not slowing down.
Well, they're pushing the pace. What a save by Matt Beck. And we have a flag down. And I think this may be going against DeSales. I can't tell. Hard to see. We'll see what the flag is. But what a stop by the goalie, the senior goalie out of Massapequa, Long Island. Big save by him.
That was a huge save. You watch here, to come right down in. Oh, perfect, perfect. And he maintained possession of it too. He didn't just make the save, he got the ball. So that was a great save.
That shot by was number 34, Dylan Valencius, who put that almost in the goal. So looks like a man-up opportunity for DeSales. So a man up for DeSales. See what the penalty is, and how long it is coming up.
I like the way DeSales is moving the ball. Oh, another fantastic stop.
Great stop by Beck. Man up on the year, 10 of 15 for DeSales. There it is, score Negia. Whoa, DeSales with a 3-goal lead.
You know, Bob, we were talking about Negia before, 100-mile-an-hour shot. That's not going to be easy for the goalie, and especially after he's making a bunch of great saves, and then he's got to take a shot like that. Yeah, it's tough, but I'll tell you that the goalie is doing a great job in there. DeSales is doing a great job moving the ball. I think that's really key. Yeah, he just snuck the ball in right under his stick there on that shot. I think that's really key how DeSales is moving the ball. It's not so much the off-ball movement, but it's the fact that they're moving the ball really quick, and when they get it, when the shooter gets it, he's taking a shot pretty quick. So DeSales keeps this running. This is going to be a long game.
Yeah, it's a man-up goal.
Oh, there we go.
Their
Okay.
11th on the season. Here comes
Misericordia.
back.
They get the face-off, so
they need a goal. They haven't scored in a while.
Yep, they've got to put something else in the net here. So they're getting the right personnel out on the field.
They haven't scored since the first quarter mark, excuse me. So that DeSales zone defense seems to be working, but also, you know, 12 turnovers hasn't helped Misericordia.
Yeah, turnovers will kill you. And not. Oh, he's trying to force it. Yep, trying to force it in there. That's characteristic of a younger player, trying to force it in. Maybe the opportunity has been missed. You just don't want to give up.
Approach. Good job, Nick.
Back to the X.
Nick, help up.
McSwiggan, back around, wrap around, pushed. He was in the crease.
Yep.
Can't be in that circle there, called the crease.
Yep, yeah, whether he got pushed in there, he stepped in there. Yeah, the officials called him in the crease, so then they gave the ball to DeSales, who needs to clear here.
Bring it down pretty easily now. DeSales will be able to set it up. Sean Weiser has the ball, 39, gave it up. Now they'll start into their offense. It looks like Misericordia still playing a zone, maybe man-to-man, it's hard to tell. They're in that zone, doesn't it look like? A 3-1-2.
Yeah, I think they're moving around.
In front, shot off the mark.
Like we mentioned, how it's a young team. I think that they're doing a lot of communication. It may not look as pretty or as perfect as it would be designed on paper, but unfortunately.
Out of bounds. That was thrown away by Paul Hannahan, number 19, the junior, out of the state of Washington. Inadvertent pass, another opportunity for the Bulldogs. Undefeated coming in. Looking to get to the first championship ever, maybe an NCAA tournament. But first, they got to get through this tough Freedom Conference schedule. It starts tonight. Beck stop.
Another fantastic save.
But a timeout was called by
there's
DeSales.
Timeout I guess that would be just before the shot was taken.
We'll take a break ourselves. Bulldogs pulling out in front. Misericordia fighting back. Beautiful evening in Dallas, but unfortunately the home team down by 3. So back to game action. DeSales putting up some big goals and playing great defense, holding Misericordia to 3 first quarter goals. That's where we stand right now. They've scored the last 5. That's the Bulldogs.
However, on the flip side of that coin, the goalie from Misericordia has really stepped up. And he's able to make a lot of. Unfortunately, that one just slipped by.
As you speak,
but he was able to make a lot of saves before. Unfortunately, that one, I think he was going low, and that ball just snuck right over the top of his stick, just underneath the pipe there.
Connor Sheridan, the senior, second goal of the year.
Yeah,
you see it?
Let's see. I think the goalie is. Yeah. See, he got a little bit low there. When he shrunk down a little bit, DeSales just snuck it right over top of his stick. So that's some really good aim by DeSales. 16
shots on goals, 4 for Misericordia. That's a big difference, isn't it?
Big difference, big difference, big difference. Yeah, and that shows up on the scoreboard. So what it also tells me is, hey, Misericordia's got to take some more shots. They've only taken 4. They've got 3 in. That's not bad.
And they average 28 a game, which is a lot.
Yeah, so they're going to have to, they just got to take some more. So they've got an opportunity here. Let's get some more shots from Misericordia, and they'll probably close that lead right there. And getting the right personnel on the field.
Wagner at the top, number 99. Nice dodge, shot, save. And Matt Barry. 2 Matts in goal tonight. It's tough. And they both end in B.
2 Matts in goal, and star players number 28 on both sides of the field.
And twins on Misericordia too, I think we talked about.
2 sets of twins, yes. Yeah. We got a lot of matching out here.
Yeah. A lot of doubling up. Okay, here come the Bulldogs back now. The Misericordia defense really can't give up too many more.
Now they've got to make a stand right here, and not only that, they've got to make a stand and then capitalize on it by getting a couple of points up on the board.
King, the freshman, with the ball back outside. Nishia drops the ball. Opportunity for the Cougars. Defense gets back, though. Give and go. Great save again by Barry.
He's looking for a fast break going the other direction. Got to get the ball first, then run.
Van Horn lost it.
There you go.
Got up to a midi. Slowing it down now, Misericordia, trying to find anything.
And again, we mentioned it before, younger players, younger team. So now, you can hear the coaches yelling. They want them to get the right personnel out on the field.
Luzzy, save Barry.
It's a nice off-stick save there. That was just right over top of goalie's shoulder.
4th save of the night for Barry, but a big one, keeping the score 7-3. So we'll hand it off and start things again. Will DeSales.
And DeSales was offside for a moment or two there. But let's...
Weiser gives it up. They'll bring it back out to the top. Oh, off the crossbar, you can hear it. Someone's calling timeout. I can hear them yelling.
We can hear it up here in the booth.
Yeah, that was number 17
there it is.
Who shot it. Kai Taylor, the freshman out of Wilmington, Delaware. Another timeout, 6:16 left. Here in the half, things have settled down. Here, that shot again.
Is this the one that goes right off the top of the off the side
You could
post.
do that if you tried.
It's amazing to me how many times when I'm coaching kids, how many times they hit that bar. The bar is as thick as the ball, and that's the part they hit. The space in between there, it's 6 feet by 6 feet. How do they hit that pipe as often as they do? It's amazing. However, these guys are trying to put it just inside of there. So,
So timeout on the field, called by DeSales. So let's take a look at the standings right now. Opening game all around the Freedom Conference for all men's lacrosse teams. So we're going to look at the overall record. And there you see Wilkes in there, Misericordia at 4-4. But DeSales, again, longest winning streak, most wins ever in a season. You know, looking pretty good. Misericordia hanging around, but feel like they can really make a run now here once they get into conference play.
I believe so, and I agree with you on that. And like we had said earlier, they had a couple of their previous seasons very, very successful. Graduated 15 players. A good portion of those guys were all starters. So to have the record that they've got right now is really not too shabby, and that shows some great promise, for the future.
Couple stats that stand out. Shots on goal, 15-7 DeSales leads. Shots overall, 25-8 DeSales with that advantage. Misericordia, though, leading the faceoffs. They've won 8 of 12, but they have 13 turnovers through the Cougars.
Yeah, those turnovers will kill you. You know, what I'm also noticing about DeSales is as they make these quick passes around the up top and over onto the wing and stuff, every one of the players that gets the ball can shoot. So because of that, the goalie has got to be up on his toes all the time for every shot.
Hold on DeSales. Cougar ball. So, what is this zone that you see where DeSales trying to run at right at midfield?
Oh boy.
Kind of a 3-3?
Right at the middle of the field
Yeah.
there? Yeah, it kind of looked like that. Let's check it out a little bit more on the next one. That was a pretty wild clearing pass there. That was a Hail Mary all the way down to just about the end zone of the field, and luckily that attack player was able to keep the ball in bounds.
So here we go again. Luzzy with the ball behind the net. They'll work it around and they'll get it back to Brandon Wagner out of Nazareth. 6 goals in his last game against Kalamazoo. That's number 34 for Misericordia right there with the ball. Let's see if they can get him working in tonight's game. Kind of working the shot clock back around. Out to Wagner. Here has a goal.
Yeah, they got that short stick matchup right there.
Went off the side of the net. 18 seconds on the shot clock.
So yeah, I don't think it hit anything. That missed the net clear.
Wagner trying to find any space in that zone he can. Tipped away. 5 on the shot clock. Wagner. Shot clock. Nope. They got it in at the last second, but a save by Barry. Here comes DeSales back the other way. Krug brings it across.
Sounds like another timeout.
Second timeout called by DeSales. 4:24 left in the half. So things have settled down a little bit. 7-3 the score, but surprisingly, Misericordia hasn't scored since that first quarter.
I tell you, they came out the start of the game, as we all saw, with all guns blazing, and to put those points up quick was showing some good signs, but unfortunately, he might be, when you get a lot of new players or younger players, they don't have the experience, they don't have the years worth of playing with each other on the field. There might be a little bit of hesitation in their decision-making process, and so they might not be making the ideal pass. They've been playing well. Both teams are playing really well out there on the field, so it hasn't been dismal, but I'm really thinking that next year, the year after, these guys get some some seasons under their belt, and what the things that they're going to learn to have this much talent right now in the next 2 years,
Oh, sure.
Misericordia is going to be.
And Coach Ricardo, I think, knows that.
Oh, he does, yes.
And he kind of expects that. He has some talented young players. Now, it was the first quarter. The 8:29 mark is their last score for the Cougars. That's a while ago.
Yeah, that was, and it can feel like forever down on the field. So, yeah, these guys have. I'm sure Misericordia wants that ball back now.
Let's see if the defense can step up. They went back to the man-to-man. Gave up on the zone. Big shot by Nejia. It's a hat trick. Oh, it's a second goal of the night for number 28.
And that looked like it was very orchestrated. That seemed to change a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if the coach had actually designed this, because this came in, and if you watch,
give and go.
Yeah, but not like the other give and goes. The other give and goes that they've been doing have been around the outside. That one, that player, who made the score? Nejia. He actually went in closer. He went in more towards the crease on that one, rather than just staying around the outside. So let's see if that's a trend that continues with DeSales as they go forward in the game here.
Yoder gets it out for DeSales, but taken by the Bulldogs. Face-off win for DeSales. 4 minutes left here in this first half. Misericordia trying to get anything going. Started out in a zone on the defense. Now have gone back to their traditional man-to-man. So that's the freshman with the ball, Curtis King. Bringing it over to Eric Magro out of Ridley. He's a junior, number 6.
Yeah, I think they're going to start going a little more, or it seems like they're going to start going a little more north and south towards the goal, rather than how they played for the first quarter and a good portion of the second quarter, where they were passing around the outside. You know, now it seems like they're going to start attacking straight towards the crease.
Weiser from Binghamton.
Oh, behind the back.
Behind the back shot. Almost in by Zach Bowen, but they retain possession. 5 seconds on the shot clock. See if they just drop it. They do. They're just going to roll it out. So shot clock violation, really, and turned over to Misericordia. Now, we're talking about that ride. You can't really see it in this. It's like a 3-3 ride.
Yeah, their midfielders are going about 5 yards over the midfield line.
And they're
back
aggressive.
into their defensive end of the field. Misericordia, another missed
turnover.
opportunity right there.
Yep.
Yeah, oh boy.
Here comes the long stick, Carney, from his defensive position. Brings it up over midfield. Taken away by Misericordia. Another errant pass.
Oh.
That's going to frustrate a coach.
Yeah, that's going to frustrate the coach, and it's going to work on the players a little bit as well. The ride that DeSales seems to be doing, it looks like their guys are getting lined up on the 40-yard lines, well, on the 45-yard lines. And they're going to give you some space, but they're going to play you hard right there.
They do, and they double team quick, don't they?
Yeah, and by having their 3 midfielders over the midfield line in the defensive half of their field, and their 3 attack players at around the 45 of their offensive half of the field, gives them that opportunity to just let you get this far, and then you got to really think about what you're doing. Plus, their long stick defensive players were covering the attack pretty heavily as well.
And she back at the top. Going to work this one back around. 20 seconds on the clock. Weiser out of Binghamton has the ball. Loses it.
I think he lost his footing, brought him down, and then
So here come the Cougars back. Under a minute. They have 45 seconds left in the half to get something going. They haven't scored since the 8-minute mark near in the first quarter.
Now it's interesting. Misericordia takes one of their attack players and puts him all the way back by the end line. That's putting some confidence in your long pass.
Wagner with a dodge, couldn't get the shot off. Off the mark.
Yeah, that's putting a lot of confidence in that long pass and in that attack player to make that catch, because just a slight little mishap and that ball's going out of bounds.
Luzzy gives it up and it just dropped. Trying to get something.
5 seconds left.
Well, that was Wagner off the mark, and that's the way the half will end. Misericordia opened up with a 3-1 lead, but it's been DeSales the rest of the way. Coming up at the half, Sydney will have the Director of Athletics here at Misericordia, Chuck Etkins, for an interview. Bob and I will be back in the booth with some highlights and first half stats. 8-3 the score after the first half.
And welcome back at the half of tonight's college lacrosse game here at Misericordia. I'm Sydney Wark, and I'm joined on the sidelines by Misericordia Director of Athletics, Chuck Etkins. So Chuck, thank you so much for talking to me tonight.
Thanks for having us.
So you've been working at Misericordia for nearly 30 years now. So can you talk a little bit about your background and kind of all the positions and the journey you've had here?
Yeah, thanks. I arrived here in 1991 and was hired by our athletic director, Dr. Michael Mold. And when I came here, we had 6 varsity sports, and I was going to be the head coach of men's soccer, assistant women's coach of basketball, and the head baseball coach. So had a chance to be involved with almost half the sports and had the opportunity to arrive here then. And then the journey continued, stayed with the women's basketball program for a couple years, helped transition that to a full-time position for the new coach at the time, and stayed with baseball and soccer. And then when our director of athletics retired, Dr. Mold moved on, they asked if I would step into the associate AD role. So I kept the men's soccer position at that time, dropped the baseball, and ended up as the associate AD. And then back in 2015, when our director of athletics then moved on, Dave Martin, I ended up being appointed as the director of athletics then, and here we are. So it's been a great ride. Great ride.
And with that kind of background here, I won't ask for your favorites, but what are some top few memories and achievements you've had here?
Well, there's been many. I think one of the things I'm most proud of is the opportunity to work with young men when I was coaching and watch them to develop as people. To have them be part of Misericordia, become part of this mission, walk across the stage, earn that piece of paper, and go on to professional lives has been rewarding. Athletically, it's always fun to win championships, and I've been blessed to coach some very talented young men, and we were successful on the soccer field during my time here. Obviously, one of the first real special memories for our men's soccer program, we were the first men's team to end up in the national tournament back in 2000. So it's been a great ride. It really has. I've been very fortunate.
Yeah, that's incredible. I've looked at your list. It's pretty extensive of those accomplishments here. And just to bring students in, how do you help generate interest to the programs here?
Sure. So one of the things that we try to do is we want to let people know that this is a very inclusive athletic program. We want to be part of the university and not separate. In many areas, sometimes you'll find in higher education where the athletics piece is sort of removed and on their own in a silo. And it's very important to us that we help our young men and women grow and develop as people, students, and as athletes. And I think being surrounded by such wonderful coaches. We've got a great staff here of head coaches, graduate assistants, and our professional staff, but also the buy-in from the university. Student life, we are embedded in the student life there, so the opportunity to build relationships and really get a great following for varsity athletics here. You can see a great crowd tonight, and that's buy-in from a community feel that we try to establish here, and we think it works.
And I believe you on that. It is a pretty chilly and windy night out here, but there are still some dedicated fans cheering everyone on. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And coming up, we'll have some stats and highlights from the first half of tonight's game here at Misericordia on MyTV WQMY.
Back at Mangelsdorf Field in Dallas on the campus of Misericordia University. Bob Ide and Coach Bob Vanderheyden up in the booth right now, enjoying a really nice and good played Freedom Conference lacrosse game.
I think it's a very good game. There's been a lot of stick skills on both sides of the field. We've got a young Misericordia team that's actually stepping up. They're playing their game. DeSales, who's come into this competition undefeated, those guys are moving the ball fantastic, and I've seen a little bit of an adjustment towards the end of the second quarter. So let's see if that continues through into the second half of this game.
Cougars opened up the scoring really early, took a 3-1 lead. So let's take a look at the highlights first and see how they got that, and then see how DeSales got their one back. So opening score, not too bad. About a minute into the game, Robert Wagner.
And that really got the momentum going. Misericordia was fired up on that one, which was great. They got a couple of shots in there. You could see their excitement. And then right here, I believe this one is a fast break.
Yep. Tercelli.
Line this up.
Well, this gave it the 3-1 lead. That was at the 8-minute mark of the first quarter. Then Monahan goes to work. He had a hat trick, 2 in a row for Justin Monahan, the junior, and suddenly it was 3-all.
And then from that point, Misericordia, I think the youth maybe started to show a little bit. They're still playing very well, but just haven't been able to put anything up on the scoreboard.
Zach Bowen and then Negia, and Negia again, the leading scorer. He has 2. Monahan has 3. DeSales gets another one from number 17, Kai Taylor, the freshman. And they have Negia down on the books for 2 goals. I think he had 3 in that, so we'll have to check that. But, of course, we had soccer. We had lacrosse here early on. I don't know why I was thinking soccer. And we'll take a look at the stats first from the first half. So what stands out to you?
Shots on goal. Right there, right at the top. 16 shots on goal from DeSales. You need to have those in order to get the ball in the net. That plus turnovers. Misericordia, 16 turnovers. That's going to hurt you. Face-offs and on both sides, but those turnovers and those shots on goal, Misericordia, if they want to come out of this a little bit better, they got to flip those numbers around.
Well, it was a big day of lacrosse here on campus. We had a high school game early on, and then you held a U.S. lacrosse clinic with some youngsters on the field in between.
Yes, we had a bunch of players from the area. A lot of them came from Mountaintop.
And from Back Mountain.
And from Back Mountain, exactly. We were running a bunch of great little games. I had a group doing a little penny tag. We had some of the coaches out there doing a little Hungry Hippos and a pass it down drill, a little relay race. It's a great time when you can get a bunch of kids like this out on the field and just playing the game. We're not worried about being absolutely perfect. Not worried about the score. There was no score. We were just playing games against each other, and they're having a lot of fun. We had boys and girls out there, all ages, kindergarten up to 6th grade, I believe. And, they all had a load of fun. And it's just a great thing to see that in the community because they all came together, and they're all playing together, and they're all having fun. And, it's a great thing. Every time that we can do one of these clinics in between the games is great. We did a little fun with the pennies there towards the end, but hey, a bunch of very smiling faces out on the field.
Of course, this is our 4th year doing this lacrosse event, we like to call it. Last 3 years, we've done it at a college campus, and it's worked out nicely where we've done a high school game before a college game and a clinic in between. And we want to thank Misericordia this year for welcoming us in with open arms. It's been great. Great atmosphere. Beautiful day. A little windy, but no problem. And, we want to thank everyone from U.S. Lacrosse as well. Andy O'Connor was here before from U.S. Lacrosse. And everything has just worked out perfectly once again for lacrosse here, which is one of the growing sports in our area. So back on the field, DeSales possession of the ball. Great stop again by Matt Beck. The shot from Negia.
And
Now-
that was one of the stats that we kind of skipped when we came in there. But this Misericordia goalie has made a lot of saves. That score could be dramatically different, but he has stepped up, and he has made a lot of solid saves too. It's not like he just deflected the ball off to the side. He's been getting the ball. He's been going right to the ball. He's got a really good eye, really fast move. But
that's tough.
It's tough when they're in that close on you, you know. And that's what DeSales has been doing, is they've been making the defense move right before a shot. And right there, they made the goalie move right before the shot.
Matt Brown, the junior out of CB East, 11th goal of the year. First tonight. And suddenly now, it's a 6-goal lead for the visitors.
And as you saw in that one, that feed was coming from X, and as that player was just, scanning the crease area of the field, he just found that open DeSales cutter coming down, was able to put the ball exactly where it needed to be. As soon as the ball got to that shooter turned around and just put it right in the net.
And you know what? It was off a turnover. 17th for Misericordia. Again, you get a turnover, you scored it to goals, you're probably going to win. Misericordia, you can't turn the ball over. That's their problem.
Yeah, they've got to stop turning over the ball. They've got to maintain possession.
Colorado with the win by DeSales, but knocked out and taken away from Misericordia.
All right, now looks like DeSales is still running that similar kind of midfield ride.
Well, they're obviously working on that pass in practice.
Yes, yeah, that pass has worked out for them a couple of times now. I would bet that Coach Ricardo was watching some film and was thinking, well, guys, how can we get around this strong ride right in the middle of the field? And so they worked on that one, and it worked out well for them there. Let's see if they can capitalize on it here, because they definitely need to put another point up on the board.
That's freshman Alan Thomas now in the game on this side and playing the attack, and he errant pass. It goes out of bounds, and guess what? Another turnover.
And they were moving the ball so well around the outside there, so.
They get the ball out. That's a turnover on the Bulldogs. So Misericordia likes to play at a faster pace, and I have to tell you, DeSales doing a magnificent job slowing it down.
Yes, yeah, it's coming down to control. And I'll tell you, we've said it a couple of times here before, but this Misericordia team is going to be fantastic in the next couple of years, because a lot of these checks that are coming right as the shooter is taking his shot. I'm really believing that in the next year, these shooters get a little bit faster. They'll get these shots off before that check comes and takes that away. So Coach Ricardo has got to see a lot of positive things for the future. It kind of stinks to look up at the scoreboard and see that right there, but Misericordia is still in it. They're still trying, and there it is.
Luzzy wraparound goal comes from the X and puts another one in. One back now for Misericordia.
It can be done.
Luzzy's second goal of the evening.
It can be done. So now what they need to do is they need to find that a number of times and just keep it rolling, keep that ball rolling. As you see here, just attacking back at X, and it wasn't even looking at the shot. It wasn't even looking at the goal. Just had a good peace of mind to know exactly when he crossed GLE, and then took that shot right back the far side on the backside behind the goalie there.
Luzzy, just a sophomore out of the Bethpage, New York area, a hotbed, and did have 6 goals this year already against Susquehanna. That was in a loss. So a big one there. One at a time, plenty of time in the game for Misericordia to get back into it. It's going to start here on the defensive end. So we know Misericordia can score. They average 15 goals a game. They just need to get to that average.
They just got to, and I'll bet you it's those turnovers that are hurting them here tonight. It really is, because their goalie has stepped up. He's been doing a fantastic job. They have been winning. It seems like they've been winning a lot of ground balls. It's just those turnovers have been going against them.
Shot off the mark.
So if you watch how DeSales moves the ball around here, it's a little different from how they did it in the first quarter.
So that's a halftime adjustment?
Yeah, they made, I think it was right towards the end of the second quarter where they were making an adjustment. They were using a player just inside. Oh.
Magro switches hands right to left and into the goal.
And there was a nice little run around the outside there, trying to get into the crease area so he could sneak one in. Looks like that's exactly what happened right after, like you said, changed hands, went to the other side.
First goal of the night for Eric Magro out of Ridley, his 8th goal on the year. And it's back to a 6-goal lead.
Right there, what Misericordia needed on that one was just a little stronger of a defensive player. A little more body on that probably would have had a Misericordia outcome.
Ball still loose. Push in the back, gone Misericordia. Be DeSales' ball. They want to get the ball and get that clock rolling, and they do. So they'll set up the offense. Try now to extend their 6-goal lead. They have 32 shots, 19 of those on goal tonight. Compared to Misericordia, still in single digits shot on goal, which is very unusual for this Cougar team. Back out to Monahan with the hat trick already. Trying to look for number 4, bounces it in, saved by Beck.
And brought out by the midfielder.
Brought
all
out
the way down the field. All right.
Hanrahan.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So, good job by DeSales, though, diffusing the transition. Still working it around. Shot blocked. This will be Misericordia ball.
Yep. And once again, that shot was blocked by the defensive player. You know, like I mentioned, if it could be a little bit faster, maybe they pick a little bit better of a place to take their shot. Misericordia will have a completely different outcome. So I'm seeing a lot of positive things here.
You have freshmen, a couple sophomores in there. That's how young this Misericordia team is. That's what they're using on this offensive side. Except for the senior Wagner, it's been all underclassmen. Trying to squeeze it in.
A forced feed right up the upfield there.
Offsides on blue, back over to the gray, and that'd be Misericordia. So a break for them, for the Cougars.
You know, we talked about it earlier today, the amount of lines that are on the field. There's a fantastic facility here at Misericordia, but as far as the field goes, I'm looking at football, soccer, men's lacrosse, women's lacrosse.
Field hockey.
Field hockey is out there. There's a bunch of lines out here on this field. And so when you get that many lines, you can get a little distracted, and looks like DeSales defenseman accidentally stepped over the midfield line.
Well, they didn't call it. Let's see if Misericordia can get a transition goal. Because they like to keep the pace fast. Get a quick shot off. They can't do it. Oh, they do it. Tercelli, no good.
Yep.
Closest man was the Cougar.
Yep, shot went wide. Yep, once again.
Thomas bringing it in.
As the ball went out, we still had Misericordia closest to the ball so they can maintain possession. So let's see. I'm trying to see if they're looking for a specific matchup. I think when we were talking with with Coach Ricardo. He was looking to attack on the short sticks.
Off the goalpost, reset the shot clock.
Yep.
Into the crease.
In and out. Yeah,
Yep.
The defenseman stepped inside. You can't carry the ball. You can't carry the ball into the crease. So a lucky break there for Misericordia.
Wagner cut off. There's Wagner there, I should say. Truselli. Switches hands, just missed the goal post.
Yeah, just outside, left in.
Just a little outside. Swinging off the mark. Plenty of time on the clock.
And it appears he's taking a lot of shots, but he's coming right over GLE, goal line extended. And as soon as he breaks over that GLE, he's taking a shot at the goal, which is kind of odd because it's an extreme angle, and it's you don't have as much of the goal to shoot on.
Back to Misericordia, off that ground ball and push. So this is the Brandon Wagner out of Nazareth who had the ball. Gives it off, and they'll work it around Will Misericordia, try to get your spacing. And by spacing, I mean basically spread out, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about spread out, and you see how far they are spread out, and then they're pulling the defense out there. So I think what they're, see how they pulled number 10? They're trying to get some more space to operate right in front of the goalie. If they can create that space, hopefully that will open up some more shooting opportunities for him.
Thomas, the freshman, with the ball. As DeSales now extending that zone.
Yeah, you can see they're coming very far out. I don't know if Misericordia is going to. Oh, there they go.
That's Luzzy again.
Luzzy again, and the reason he was successful was because the defense was out of the crease area.
Okay, Misericordia trying to get back into it. Down to 5. Take a timeout.
College lacrosse on MyTV WQMY is presented by Misericordia University.
Here's the last goal for Misericordia.
And like we just mentioned, Misericordia sneaking in, just crosses GLE and takes a shot. The reason that was so successful was the lack of defensemen right there in front of the crease. So looks like Misericordia is trying to pull DeSales out a little bit more, get some more space that they can work with, and probably going to try and get a lot more shots off. If they can get that shots on goal number up, hopefully that will result in a couple more points up on the board.
So back to the face-off we go. 5:55 remaining in the third quarter. Won by Corrado. Corrado to Negia. Shot goal to DeSales. Three for Negia. He has a hat trick with Monahan. It's back to a 6-goal lead.
Well, Misericordia has got to step up here. I understand the defense getting out of the way so that the goalie is not screened, but you've got to still get that stick up on the shooter.
And that one started right from the faceoff.
Right from the faceoff, yep.
So Corrado won that battle. Looks like Hediger gonna win, almost won that battle. Controlled by DeSales. Oh, the throw, looks like it's gonna roll right out of bounds. So Luzzy will pick it up and they'll set up their offense. Will Misericordia. Averaging 15 goals this season, just 5 so far in this contest.
Yeah, see they're playing out, they're pulling out wide here. They're gonna try and pull DeSales off the crease. See if they can open up some space in there to use that space, capitalize on it, and shorten that lead.
Wagner. Thomas. Flipped over to Luzzy. Save.
Oh.
Barry almost rolled it right
Almost
into the
rolled
goal.
right in, yes.
Aaron pass. The GB picked up by Nejia. Oh, and a wallop from behind. Didn't see that player. That will hurt.
Oh, yeah.
No flag down.
Nope.
Wagner pushing it. Did that go in? Nope, they're going to say in the crease.
Yeah, it looked like he just stepped into the crease there while he was going for that ground
It
ball.
was right on the crease, though, for the shot.
Yep.
Well, a couple opportunities missed there for the Cougars.
And it looks like even after, that's an errant pass going out.
Well, both teams come in the 20s. Let's look at that last shot.
His last shot. So there's a save, and then while the ball is down, I can't see that.
Just flipped
that
it,
foot.
Thomas.
Yeah, it looks like his left foot either just got on the line, just went over the line for the crease there.
16 turnovers now for DeSales, 19 for Misericordia. So they're racking up the turnovers, but can Misericordia take advantage? I guess the question, right?
That's the question, exactly. DeSales was able to take advantage of Misericordia's turnovers, so now let's see what we can do. It looks like Misericordia is in a 2-2-2 now.
We're looking at set up like a 3-1-2.
Yeah, 2-1-3 right now, calling back from X there.
Yep.
So again, looks like they're pulling or trying to pull the DeSales defense out of position.
Trying to work the wall around quickly. Wagner. No room in the middle at all. Lost the ball. 10 on the shot clock.
I tell you, I like. Oh boy, interception.
Picked off
there. Interception
by Krug, the junior. And a shot off the mark by Zach Bowen. So that was all set up by Frank Krug.
Yep, and they're calling DeSales possession, that they were closest to the ball. Now on that one, on that fast break, kind of went for an unorthodox look, not the typical two pass and take a shot. That shot just came right diagonally across the backside pipe. So we'll see DeSales moving the ball quickly again. That is one thing. Misericordia, when they were down. Oh, nice save. Nice save.
Saved by Beck off the Monahan shot. Under 2 to play here in the third. Looking for a long pass again. Way over the head of Thomas. So obviously that's something they wanted to try and do against DeSales, was try to get that long bomb pass. I've never really seen that before.
Well, if they're not used to throwing that long of a pass and not used to catching that long of a pass, that can be kind of, let's see who.
That was a tough one.
Yeah, that was a tough one. It looked like it was kicked by a couple of players as that went out of bounds. So, and there we go. See, now that, again,
trying to force it.
Forcing it, trying to force it. Oh.
Big hits right in the middle.
Big yep.
There's
big
a flag coming in.
And it looks like
2 flags.
Boy.
We have a double penalty. We'll have to see what this one is.
We'll see if they both call the same penalty or if they're calling different players. But Misericordia on their last offensive possession down here, where they were able to move the ball around. What I was seeing.
Let's see if we can get the call first.
Sure. Oh, sure. Yeah.
There you see it. Listen for the call. Oh, it's 2 penalties. Couldn't hear it. Double penalties against Misericordia?
They're 2 men down. They got 2 men in the box there, in the penalty box.
Well, they have 5 on the field, so.
The other one is, he's standing out on the field. 1 in the penalty box, 1 just out on the field.
So DeSales is a man up.
Oh, a fantastic
Save by
save.
Beck.
Great save. I think that actually went off of his chest protector there. And that went flying up into the sky.
Save
oh,
by Beck.
fantastic save.
Now you have to work it down.
And you're a man down. So DeSales, with the way that they are, they're going to wind up doubling the ball.
Oh, they're going to get a
Oh,
push.
but then now they'll get a push. Yep. Or
Things starting to get a
yeah,
little
it's
bit out
slow,
of sorts.
Slow flag here, so. Oh, ball down.
Yep, there's will be the penalty. 23 seconds left. So this will go against DeSales.
DeSales, and it looks like the Misericordia penalty had expired, so
Yep.
yeah, we're not even. We're
Misericordia man up, 23 seconds left.
yeah. See, they've got
Negia with the push.
Misericordia has some nice ball movement. I think it needs to get a little faster, and maybe not as much cradling when they're catching the ball.
And that will do it. That's the end of the third quarter. DeSales has come to the back mountain, and they have a 6-goal lead as we head to the fourth quarter.
Heading into the fourth of tonight's college lacrosse game, DeSales is leading Misericordia by 6 points. I'm Sydney Warwick, and I'm joined on the sidelines by Misericordia head football coach Mark Ross. Coach, thank you so much for talking to me tonight.
Thank you, Sydney.
So you've been on board with this team since the beginning in 2011. So can you talk about the growth since then?
Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes I marvel at how far we've come as a university and as a football program. But, you know, I saw this in phases. We're kind of in phase 2, where we're actually, in my opinion, at a point where we can start to challenge now to compete yearly and try and win achieve our goal of winning a MAC championship.
Great, thank you so much. And so your past season, you ended with a winning record of 8-3, and you hosted a bowl game. So can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
Very rewarding. Wasn't easy. A lot of adversity, and I was amazed and kind of uplifted constantly by the resolve of our team. But I'm just really happy and proud for the kids that we were able to get to that point, especially the seniors. They came in here and at a time when we were trying to show them a commitment to their future, a goal, a vision, if you will, and they were able to achieve some things that kind of recharted the course of this program.
Great, and so your main focus for the off season, what is that?
Combination of things. We're actually at that point right now where we can get out and start doing some practices. So it's preparing the returners that we have here now for next season, trying to tie a bow on the recruiting class and start on next year's recruiting class. So it's a bit of a balancing act in terms of recruiting and just trying to utilize the time we have between now and the end of the semester to get the guys as prepared as we can for when we come in August.
And not looking to give away any secrets here, but you said you're in phase 2 now.
Yeah.
So what's phase 3 look like of the program?
Phase 3, when we get to phase 3, then we've reached a level where we can feel yearly we're competing to try and win the conference, and now you're talking about playing at a national level. Because if you win a MAC, you can automatically qualify for the NCAA postseason. So to me, phase 3 is getting to that point.
Great, thank you so much for your time, Coach. Back to you, Bob.
Yeah, we were here for the first football game ever here at Misericordia back in 2011. It seems like ages ago. We know they added batting cages right behind the press box, so that's a little bit different for us. But Coach Ross is doing a nice job, and one of the more successful seasons ever here for the Cougars. They're getting the players up here, and he's stuck it out. So a nice job by him. Timeout called. And here's what Misericordia has left now. It doesn't get any easier. They play Eastern, who they lost to last year, but Eastern having a down year. Then they get FDU, and it doesn't get any easier through this Freedom League schedule, Bob. And this Freedom League really developed into one of the better ones on the East Coast.
Well, that plus there aren't too many days to recuperate between games. As you can see on the schedule right here, it's a game, it's a practice, it's a game, it's a practice, it's a game, and a practice. So you've really got to you got to be on the ball, and you got to learn fast, play fast, and just keep progressing fast. Like I started to mention, what I'm seeing from Misericordia bodes really well for the future.
Well, they're getting experience in big games. They're getting experience against better teams, and you know, as they develop and other people graduate, things will even out here. Nejia's shot to the right, off the mark.
It looks to me like Misericordia is missing an attack player out on the field.
He could be hidden down.
He's all the way down by the bench there. I'm sorry. I was looking for another offsides. He's kind of hidden off to the side.
Wraparound goal. Nejia, the senior, putting this one away. 4 goals on the night for DeSales, looking to go to 10-0 on the year.
Yeah, and that was just a textbook. Beat your man across GLE. Look at that. It was the crease area is wide open. Unfortunately, the Misericordia defense not watching, paying attention to where the ball was on that one.
So back to the face-off they go. Face-offs pretty even tonight. 10th face-off win for Misericordia. 10 now also for DeSales. So on that respect, Misericordia doing pretty good. Wagner being whacked.
Yeah.
Thomas. Picked up.
Oh, boy. Yep. Just
turnover.
That's some hard playing defense. And going and getting the ball. DeSales, even though they've got this lead, they're not taking their foot off the gas here. They still want the ball. They still want to score. And that's what you've got to do when you're playing lacrosse. You got to play all the way to the end.
And DeSales coached by Matthew Brancaccio, his 5th season, 7th overall. He did play at DeSales, building a program. He's 31 and 35 overall. He was the 2016 Freedom Coach of the Year. And he's one of the all-time leaders in DeSales in assists and in points. So that's the coach of DeSales, who's got his team on the verge of going 10-0 on the year.
And that's great to be a leader in assists. You know, that's really showing the team mentality there. That you know, you don't have a problem sharing the ball. You don't have a problem, you know, feeding somebody else. A lot of times, a shooter who scores winds up getting a lot of the attention. A lot of the highlight reels, like our highlight reels here at halftime, are showing that. But lacrosse is a team sport, so those other guys out there that are moving the ball around, they're just as important.
Saved by Beck as the shot from Kai Taylor went right at him.
Yeah, again, another good save. And yep, here's DeSales. They're playing that hard game right in the middle. Oh, right in the middle of the field. And they forced Misericordia to do a turnover there. That one was unnecessary.
High shot from the outside. And
another timeout.
Another timeout by DeSales. It looks like it. Well, with that, here's one of the last shots. DeSales out in front as we take a timeout. 12:04 left in the game. We are back in the back mountain at Mangelsdorf Field on the campus of Misericordia University. It's Freedom Conference College Lacrosse game brought to you by U.S. Lacrosse and Misericordia. It's been all the Bulldogs here undefeated on the season, getting votes in the top 25, and maybe with a win tonight, they may actually get into the top 25, which would, boy, be an outstanding accomplishment for this league and for DeSales. Misericordia still has 11 minutes left to get 7 goals back. Right now, though, controlled by DeSales most of this quarter.
So yeah, DeSales is definitely controlling the ball. So is it possible to score that many in that amount of time? It's possible, but with the way that DeSales is playing and they're controlling the ball, as we mentioned before, when you're controlling the ball, the other team can't do anything, or they can't score. You know, if you've got the ball, they can't score. So looks like DeSales is probably going to use the whole 80-second shot clock that they have available to them. Every so often you'll see that a team will run out that shot clock all the way down to the end, and then they'll just throw the ball over in the corner. Looks like that's about what's going to happen here. And DeSales is going to bring it in because they were closer. And with 3 seconds left, he's going to just roll the ball right along the end line.
Actually goes out of bounds.
Goes out of bounds right there. The thinking behind that, Bob, is that when you get to that 80 seconds and you don't have time to take another shot, you might as well just put the ball down on the ground furthest, as far away from your goal as you possibly can do. So when you see the players just drop the ball there, that's what they're doing.
Spacing looks a little bit tighter now for
Misericordia.
Well, DeSales too. They're kind of packing it in, trying to squeeze the needle through.
Yep.
Pushing the back, not called. Here comes DeSales back the other way, and
it's a nice pass. Oh, ball was dropped.
And a tackle to boot.
Yep. And then ball just rolled right out of bounds. And you see on that restart, now, yeah, the ref is going to call it. On that restart, the DeSales player did not back off 5 yards off of the Misericordia player, even after the ref asked for it. So now you also see that the ref threw the flag. So we've got what's called a slow flag. They'll put the flag down. They'll allow the team to keep playing until, in this case, that shot was taken, the ball went out of bounds. Sometimes they'll keep playing until the defensive team or the team that incurred the foul gets possession of the ball. So that's why sometimes you may see the flag down on the field and action continues for that.
So DeSales in the penalty box. Misericordia now a man up.
And let's see if they're able to take advantage of this. Yeah, and see now Misericordia has 2 guys in on their crease on this man-up situation, which is kind of confusing to me. I would think that they would want to have that. They've been having more success by having that open space right in front of the crease.
Yeah, a lot of one shot and done for Misericordia.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not sure why they put 2 guys in on the crease there.
So that was a 30-second penalty and a goal.
And yeah,
by Nejia.
I believe so.
Number 28 again. Number 4 on the night. No, make that 5 for the senior. He had 6 goals against Scranton this year.
Yeah, here he is here. Oh, a tough one. Now on that kind of an angle, you would think that the goalie would have the advantage, but it just looked like the Misericordia goalie was a little distracted by where that shot was coming out.
So Garrett Rogers was a wrestler in high school. He's going to take the face-off for Misericordia. 57% on the year. He's done a couple of them here tonight.
And
but instead it's Corrado, the sophomore, who wins this one.
That goal also brought us all even there, so. Yeah, they're still fighting for the ball. Yeah, 8 minutes left. What do we got, an 8-point lead here? DeSales is still trying to put some points up on the board. I do see the Misericordia is not as active on defense as they were for most of the rest of the game.
So now time for the Bulldogs to work the clock.
And what I'm seeing now is a little more, okay, it was a little more traditional. Get the ball back at X.
Oh, flag on the Cougars.
Another slow flag.
Goalie comes out of the crease. Beck getting a little aggressive.
Well, I bet because he saw the flag, he just figured if I can get the ball or put the ball down on the ground, then we get the penalty. So just get set up in man down defense.
Slash, looks like 30 seconds. Misericordia. So DeSales on the man up. And they're 1 and 3 on the night on the man up.
For those that are new to the game, each team has 3 attackmen out on the field, 3 midfielders, and 3 defense, along with the goalie. 10 men on the field at a time. So when we're man down, as Misericordia is right now, one of their midfielders comes off the field, and they've got their 3 long stick defenders. They probably have a long stick midfielder or an LSM, and then another defensive midfielder player out there. That way the focus for the Misericordia team is all defense by those 5 players. Right there we had a little timeout by the official. We had to just get clarification on something.
Well, give credit to the Bulldogs defense tonight. Holding a team that averages 15 goals coming in to just 5, not getting to double figures. I mean, that's how you get undefeated, right? I mean, that's how you win championships.
Definitely. And we talked about how Misericordia has got a lot of turnovers. A number of those came from DeSales forcing those turnovers. So, DeSales, it's kind of very apparent to me as to why they are undefeated. They are playing a really well thought out, well executed game here. Their stick skills.
Beck with a stop.
Yeah, another nice stop right there. Goalie just stuffed the shooter.
Yep. That was a minute penalty, by the way, for slashing on Conway. And he's not released quite yet. It's coming up soon.
Yep.
So now the teams are even, 6 on 6, but a new shot clock and plenty of time for DeSales to work the game clock down. In no hurry with a big lead.
Now, one of the reasons for that shot clock was so that when you get to points like this in the game, the winning team doesn't just walk around and hold the ball, and then the game becomes boring. So they've got this shot clock, so they've got to do something, but they do have some time, like you said. They've got some time to work this out.
Shot off the mark, 34 on the shot clock.
And again, the shot clock does not get reset because it didn't hit the goalie or the or any part of the goal and go outside.
Another shot and a goal.
Oh, that one went in.
Feed from Nejia. Goal by Monahan, looks like. 27. That'll be 4 for him if it is. Off the feed from Nejia.
And it was a nice low shot, which you know, the goalie's got to get down here. So you see this, came right off of that feed. Oh, I'm sorry, a high to low shot. So there's a lot of power in that one, and yeah, the goalie just wasn't able to follow it down.
We had 8 goals coming in. He's already got half of that in one game.
Wow.
So a big night for the junior out of Ridley High School in Pennsylvania. 9-goal lead.
And there's Misericordia comes up with the ball. Oh, and
Right
there it is.
out.
Another forced turnover by DeSales.
Absolutely.
Yeah, DeSales is playing an impressive game, but it's kind of obvious as to why they are undefeated for the season so far. Oh.
Well, it's also Misericordia, you know, playing with young players.
Yep.
Maybe forcing things a little bit that they don't want to do and won't do in the future. I mean, they have 27 turnovers.
Yeah, and there's another one right there. Again, forced by
and just
by
13
DeSales.
shots on goal.
Yep. Like I said, another interception by DeSales. Wow.
Nice job by Krug.
DeSales just had 3 really good takeaways on all 3 of those rides. That ride is working out really well for them.
So Bulldogs motto with the ball, number 23. Working back around.
I was going to say, this is the point in which a young team gets tired. They're down by, where are we at, 9?
9,
Difference of 9 right now. That starts to weigh on your mind. You're tired from playing, you know, this level of a game all game long.
Magro with the shot off the mark, retained by DeSales. 31 on the shot clock, and they will have a penalty now on Misericordia. Man up opportunity again for DeSales. 1 for 4 in the man up today. But this also just works the clock down. That's all they really need to do.
Well, and that's just it. What they're going to do is they're going to use the entire. They're going to run out this entire penalty. So I mean, unless it's a blatantly obvious open shot.
Tyler Van Horn, the penalty. 1 minute for them.
Oop. A nice save by the goalie.
I think he sat on the ball.
Yeah,
Matt did.
Yeah, and I think he deflected that one. Yeah, deflected that, and then he was able to get his stick on it. So that was a good thing.
Well, now Misericordia wants to, they need to get goals.
Yep.
They also need to kill off their man down.
Yeah, if they're still man down, it's easy for DeSales to double team them.
They're just going to sit back, though. Play 5 on 6.
Okay. All right. Well, it's a good little sign of respect there from DeSales. There we go. Now we're all even.
We're even?
Yep. Misericordia player coming in from the box. We're back to 6 on 6 play.
Wagner.
Aggressive move by the goalie there to go out and try and intercept that pass that went back to X.
That's just the 14th shot. 26th shot. I mean, DeSales has 52 shots in the game.
In the game, wow.
52, 31 of those shot on goal. The numbers don't lie on this one. And, Barry's doing a nice job in the crease. I mean, he's doing an awesome job as goalie. A senior, 3-year starter. And he'll go over to the Bulldogs.
Yep, shot clock expired.
Well, it looks like Misericordia is going to drop to 4-5 on the year. And DeSales, well, going to stay undefeated. Best start in school history. Most wins and counting now for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it looks like another timeout.
That's a timeout. This one by DeSales. And we'll stay right here. 2:26 left. Well, it was a good day of lacrosse here. Here's what we have coming up on our My TV schedule, Bob. We'll get back to that. We have some bunch of baseball on tap. Next Tuesday, we'll be at Luzerne County Community College. Then we're up at Keystone against the Cougars again. We'll see them April 24th. But don't forget, we'll have Rail Riders baseball for you right here on My TV starting April 26th. Syracuse comes to town. And when you say Syracuse Mets, you think Team Tebow. Well, Tebow is playing for the Syracuse Mets, and we'll have it right here on My TV. But as I was saying, Bob, great day of lacrosse here, right here in Misericordia. I want to thank them and U.S. Lacrosse for their opportunity.
Oh, yeah, it was a great day. It was a little windy, but the sun was out.
Well, not raining.
So, yeah, not raining, so you got to love that. It's gotten a little cold since the sun's gone down, but quality play, I think, for the whole day. I don't see any teams being really, really sloppy out here. Lake Lehman and Crestwood in our high school game at 4 o'clock. Those two teams, they played a hard game. I did get a chance to talk with Coach Chris from the Lake Lehman team, and he said that they did achieve his goal for the day. Mm-hmm. So that's a good thing.
They wanted to get 8 goals, right?
They wanted to get, 8. So he at least got 8 goals in there. So they achieved their goal for the day, which was good. Crestwood played a really strong game, a lot of stick skills, and with the lead that they had, they were able to put some of their second and third line players out on the field and gave those guys some experience. So that program is also going to grow in the future, which will be a good thing for the area. These two teams out here, does not look like either one of them is ready to stop playing lacrosse tonight. They're going right to the end. Misericordia trying to get the ball back. They got less than 2 minutes in the game, but still fighting till the end.
Again, another young team, but
yep.
DeSales is also young. They have freshmen, sophomores in there, but they'll lose a goalie, and as will Misericordia next year. But Coach Ricardo likes the way his program is going. Despite the record this year, he's got the talent. They just have to get the experience.
And I'm thinking that's going to have a huge impact on how they do in the future. Their future records are going to be big.
Less than 90 seconds in this one on our lacrosse doubleheader. And Coach Ricardo's going to call his timeout.
I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to. He says that they don't normally play plays, but I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to set something up here specifically for a couple of players, just to kind of test them and see if he can, if he can rely on them to do exactly what he wants them to do, what he needs them to do at a specific spot.
So we'll stay right here. 14-5 the score. More goals than Misericordia has wanted to give up. I mean, they gave up 18 to Stockton, 14 to Susquehanna, 15 to Scranton. So you see, defense is young here.
It is, but like I mentioned a couple of times, I see really good things for the future, because even some of the looks that they were getting, some of the passes that they were making, they looked to me to be the correct pass. Just maybe those passes needed to be a little bit sooner, faster, maybe a little bit harder. A lot of Misericordia's shots, if they could have been taken a split second sooner, the scoreboard would be, showing different numbers, because a lot of those shots were blocked, not necessarily by the goalie. Goalie did make a number of good saves, but the defenseman playing against the Misericordia offense, really, they took those shots away from him. So yeah, we're going to see if Coach Ricardo has something up his sleeves here. And it looks like DeSales just came, said, hey, we're going to go out and play hard right to the very end. Look at this. Yeah, 1 minute left, and DeSales is playing like it's the first minute of the game. Oh, a nice save.
So 9 saves on the night by Barry. 17 saves by Matt Beck for Misericordia. Of course, when you're facing 31 shots at goal,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah, no, Misericordia is doubling the ball. See if they can get. Oh.
Beck with the interception.
Yep.
Going to force it up to Luzzy.
Yep, there you go.
Luzzy's going to keep pushing the pace even though the clock's winding down. Shot off the mark. That will stop the clock with 3 seconds. Whistle will blow. And that should do it.
Great game.
So the Bulldogs, as I said, come to the back mountain. And they go out undefeated, just like they came in. When we come back, we'll talk to Coach Ricardo quickly, get his impressions on tonight's game, then Bob and I will wrap it up from the booth. Final score, DeSales 14, Misericordia 5.
College lacrosse on MyTV WQMY is presented by Misericordia University.
So we are back at Mangelsdorf Field on the campus of Misericordia University. The sun is set. It's a bit chilly in the air. The wind has kind of died down, which is nice. And, we had a decent, nice lacrosse game. And now Sydney is going to be joined by Coach Ricardo after the loss and get his impressions on tonight's game. Sydney.
Bob, I'm here with Coach Ricardo. And Coach, tough game against DeSales tonight. How can your team continue to improve moving forward from this?
Sure. I think right now we had a ton of great shots, just bad shot selection. Their goalie probably made 15, 16 saves without seeing the stat book. So the opportunities that we had on offense, we do have to capitalize, and that's basically shot selection. So a lot of them were stick side high instead of making the goalie move. So our young guys have to understand how to play in a rivalry game, and that's a pretty good team right there. DeSales is very solid. They're eerily similar to where we were last year as a little bit of a senior-heavy team, but our young guys have to learn how to play, how to finish. Moving forward, we have to have better shot selection. So it's a great question.
So what's the mindset going into next game?
Yeah, sure. So the next game is now we gotta regroup and we have to get ready for Eastern, another home game again on Saturday. We have to capitalize on our opportunities. So that's the big thing.
Great. Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Back to you, Bob.
Yeah, so positive approach there from Coach Ricardo. He'll look at it, and, they'll watch the film, get better, and come back out the next practice, and that's what you want to do, just improve every time you can get the sticks out.
Well, definitely. I mean, he knows he's got a young team. He knows he's got a lot of talent that he can work with. Like I mentioned during the game, a lot of, I think, good movement. I could see that the players had stick skills, and they were looking for those opportunities, good passes, and good shots. But like Coach just said right there, maybe just one more step. Just one more step, and they'll get a little better shot, a little better look. Maybe they get a little bit faster, and they up the speed. If a lot of these guys are freshmen, that means they were playing high school lacrosse last year.
That's right.
So you give them another year or two. The game definitely moves faster at the college level. So you give them another year or two to play together. They pick up their speed. And good things for the future here at Misericordia.
Well, we want to thank the administration here at Misericordia from Athletics for sponsoring tonight's doubleheader this afternoon, and also want to thank U.S. Lacrosse for coming through once again, and thank you, Bob, for helping us along the way. I can't believe we've done this 4 years now.
5 years.
5 years?
5 years.
Okay.
This is the 5th year. It's always been great. Thank you for having me back. Anytime. I'm ready to come up.
Well, great job by our crew as always. A yeoman's duty and a doubleheader here at Misericordia. Final score again, DeSales improves to 10-0 on the year. Misericordia drops a tough one, 14-5, the final. For the entire Fox 56 sports crew, for Bob Vanderhayden, Sydney Warwick, this is Bob Hyde saying so long.
College lacrosse on MyTV WQMY is presented by Misericordia University.